The Cleveland Browns made the somewhat seemingly inevitable decision to move off of Joe Flacco as the starting quarterback and give that position to Dillon Gabriel, at least for the time being. Now, one thing that this does kind of bring up, and you've probably already heard it from whoever you want to think of, from ESPN or any national media outlet, they're going to bring up, well, this means this for Shedeur Sanders. I'm not going to talk about that. I think this means nothing for Shedeur Sanders. He still is the number 3 QB. And honestly, if you're a Cleveland fan, a fan of Cleveland sports, at this point, I don't know how into the Browns you are, considering that at the exact moment of this recording, the Cleveland Guardians are looking like they're going to tie their wild card series with the Detroit Tigers at 1 game apiece. And Cleveland, the Guardians, are on this somewhat magical run to get even into the playoffs and win the AL Central. But keeping this with the Browns, you could say that it is or it isn't the right time to make this move. It is the right time to make the move for the offense because as you look at the numbers, they're a bottom 5 team in terms of scoring, total yardage, yards per pass attempt, and yards per rush attempt. Offensively, the only thing that you really want to say you're excited about is the fact that Quinshon Judkins, in his 2 games of extended play, has given a really, really good effort on the ground. He has over 237 yards, or I should say he has 237 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns at about almost 5 yards per carry. So he's off to a really good start. And the start that you've also gotten out of Harold Fannin Jr. He has 17 receptions for 160 yards. Throw in a few rushing attempts in there as well. He's looking like a guy that overall you can count on as a solid contributor on the offense. At the same time, this is a team that's going to London this week. They're playing a Minnesota Vikings defense who is a good defense. They're playing a Minnesota Vikings team that has been overseas for the last week, given that they played Pittsburgh and Dublin last week. So this is a team, I think Minnesota and Jacksonville are kind of the 2 teams going overseas. They actually are almost used to it at this point. But that's kind of neither here nor there because regardless of where they're playing a good Minnesota team. They're playing a well-coached Minnesota team. They're playing a good defense. They are going overseas. And they need to figure out how they're going to take advantage of this defense, which at this point, yes, they're 24th in scoring, but I think that has more to do with the fact that, teams are getting pretty good field position against the Cleveland Browns. They rank 30th in the entire league in terms of opponent starting field position. If you look at in terms of yards per drive, plays per drive, points per drive, they're top 10, if not number 1 in most of those categories. They're probably the best rushing defense, a top 10 passing defense. They need to take advantage of the fact that they have an elite player in Myles Garrett, elite of elite. He's not just really, really good. He's a Hall of Famer in the prime of his career. They need to take advantage of that. They need to take advantage of the really good year that they've gotten out of their linebackers, both Devin Bush and Carson Schwessinger, 2 guys that they added to the team this year. They just need to take advantage of the fact that this is a really good defense. And even if they're not a playoff team, they need to look like they're capable of winning games. That's going to be the video. I'm going to keep it short on this topic because I feel like I'm easily not the first or last or even somewhere in the middle of people that are talking about this subject. I'm going to try either tonight or early tomorrow to have my Week 4 power ranking video. I guess actually it would be Week 5 after the Week 4 games. I'm going to try to have that video up. I'm probably halfway through it right now. So if you want to see that, make sure you like this video. Go check out my previous week's power ranking video. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment about anything you disagree or agree with, and I'll see you in the next video.